Computer.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Happy's Dash TV. I'm here with my co-host JT. We have a little bit to share with you tonight about the First Amendment. I know a lot of people don't talk much about that, but we want to fill you guys in on our perspective, what we've been told, and the research we found out. Everything's based on the Constitution, at least it's supposed to. But the corrupted corporations rewrote everything. They also rewrote the laws. So we're getting all that back the way it's supposed to be, according to our founding fathers, amen. Bill of Rights and Declaration of Independence and everything else that goes with it. Anyway, we're going to focus on the First Amendment and basically the right to say things that we're allowed to say and a lot of things that we're not allowed to say, right? So basically, we're in a world of censorship right now, and there's a lot of narrative out there that's being allowed to be said in the mainstream media, and that's unfortunate, but we're not allowed to say anything, right? Well, that's one-sided for sure. Basically, we have available to you guys instead of mainstream media, we have alternate stream media, ASM. And that's a better approach because you're going to get more truth out of that kind of information. So we'll help guide you guys through that and everything. And basically, it's a matter of having freedom. If we don't have freedom, we don't have our liberties, and we're not sovereign souls, amen. So that's part of the battle we're fighting today. Of course, we're fighting to save our children too. That's the main reason over this whole thing. Anyway, I'm gonna give it over to JT and let him emphasize on that First Amendment on his outlook of it.
So yeah, First Amendment would be the freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Obviously, you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater, but other than a few exceptions, we have freedom of speech, and that goes along with like freedom of thought, right? Because if you can't speak freely, that your thoughts are being curtailed,
Exactly.
contained, right? We need to be free thinkers, free speakers. And I think it comes down to centralized news and information versus decentralized.
Yes.
Yeah, so centralized news would be like your big network news channels. We only have a handful of those stations, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
only have
Mm-hmm.
a handful, what, 6 or 7 mega companies that are pushing out the news. That's the mainstream media. So you only have a few people at the top controlling all that mainstream information. And what's decentralized would be what's on the internet. Now the internet is the wild, wild west. Everything under the sun is there. So you
Yep.
have a wide umbrella of data to go through, which would be more time consuming than if you want to just sit and watch your 6 o'clock news and be spoon fed what whoever it is that runs that network wants you to know. Doesn't mean it's the truth though. It's just what whoever controls that station, that's the news you're getting, and their political leanings and biases are embedded in that data that they're sharing and disseminating to the public. Whereas on
And
the
every day, they all get together and rehearse what they're going to say. You can watch simultaneous broadcasts of MSM, mainstream media, and they're all saying a similar narrative because they all recite all that before the podcast. In alternate stream media, it's not like that. You know why? We're not trapped inside the box, guys. We're outside the box. We're trying to get the truth out. We're trying to do that. That's real journalism right there. Journalism and mainstream media does not exist anymore. Anyway, back to you, JT.
Yeah, so with the internet, you have everything under the sun. So you have a broad plethora or umbrella of information to look through. It doesn't mean everything on the internet's true,
Mm-hmm.
but you're gonna find the truth in that within that subset. So a subset of that broad-based information, there's going to be the truth in there. So you have the opportunity to find the truth on the internet. Whereas if you rely only on mainstream media, you're at the mercy of whoever controls those networks. And if they don't want
Yep.
you to know, you're not going to know. It's just that simple. And these are publicly traded companies, and they have sponsors and donors and all that. So there's all sorts of things involved with that information.
Mm-hmm.
So it's they always say follow the money, follow the money. So there's decentralized and centralized. That's for media, and then we want to talk about education, right? Same thing where you have the education systems that are they a lot of people want it centralized, and then now you're getting dictated from a few people at the top what's being taught in the schools versus if you have the opportunity for like school vouchers or send
Mm-hmm.
your children to private schools. Um, you have more control over what's going on and what's being taught to the
That's
children.
true. That's true because in decentralized,
Yeah,
the parents can speak for their children. They can make decisions for their children on what they're allowed to do in school and what they're not allowed to do. But guess what? It's not like that in centralized. They tell the parents what to do, and they basically tell the children what to do. The parents have no say so in the welfare of their children. So we have to get away from the centralized educational system to decentralized educational system because that equals freedom. That equals choice of the parents because the parents are the ones rearing up their children. The big people are not rearing up their children. The parents are. They're the ones that have the right to make those decisions. Back to you.
exactly. And then I wanted to talk about the banking institutions, right? So then we have
Mm-hmm.
the Federal Reserve Bank, which is a private central bank, and they dictate the monetary policy in this country versus cryptocurrency, which
Mm-hmm.
is decentralized. Like Bitcoin would be decentralized. It's a decentralized currency,
Yep.
so nobody really controls it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have there's all the altcoins as well. So there's different forms of banking. And if you have centralized banking, the people have less power because we're at the mercy of the central bank. And if they want to print more money, they're devaluing the money that you work hard for, whether you're an entrepreneur or you have a 9 to 5, your money's being devalued when they're printing money out of thin air, backed by nothing. So then is the cryptocurrency, and then finally, we're contrasting comparing centralized versus decentralized
Yep.
institutions would be governance. So this country was founded on decentralized governance, where we have state rights,
Amen.
state sovereignty. So people have more say in what is going on in their lives rather than a strong, overbearing, centralized federal government.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we just wanted to share a high level these ideas about centralized versus decentralized in these 5 areas of media, education, banking. Well, 4 areas: banking, which ties in with the cryptocurrency and the governance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And please like and subscribe our channel, and we'll be looking forward to your comments in the comment section below. Jay, do you have anything else?
That'll be it now. Just basically, everybody, we need our freedom back. The only way we're going to get it is speak up, get involved, do your research. Don't go around lost and you got to ask questions. Don't just believe what the government says. It's all a big scam, guys. Anyway, that's enough for me.
All right, we're out.